I'm 59 now, married. I've got a couple of kids. There's Nicola and then there's Matthew. Matthew kind of is slightly different in so much as he has a severe learning disability, and kind of thrown into this whole accessible housing debate is a kind of a key consideration for it, for us as well. And so I have some problems with degenerative bone conditions and ligaments, and just kind of generally falling apart at the seam. So we're kind of a complicated family, but I think it makes for an interesting story and in some ways a unique story that needs to be fleshed out, because we can potentially provide a solution to accessible housing and the way professionals view families and the kind of experiences that they go through coping with disability. Matthew and my problems started around about the same time, so that's kind of 25 years ago now. We had a lovely house. It wasn't the most accessible house in the world. It had steps here, there and everywhere, changes in kind of different levels. Doors were quite narrow, really narrow staircase as well. And so that's really why we knew that we had to move. We knew that the house was not going to be accessible. We knew the house was not going to be able to be converted to our needs as a family unit. And so that's why it made it critical that we moved. And so what we needed to do was to buy something that was far more accessible, but would also, just as importantly, cater for our needs in the future. And we didn't really know what that future was going to be like. And so we had to effectively use brinkmanship. We sold our house. We went to the local authority and said, we sold our house. We will be homeless in X amount of weeks. You will have a responsibility to house us. You don't have any housing stock. We have the solution in so much as we're prepared to buy our own house. But you need to buy into that jigsaw, which is a disabled facilities grant, which is about allowing us planning and considering the whole thing. They allowed us to do that. They fast-tracked the disabled facilities grant, so we managed to move in here, get the adaptations done, and it's been good since then. Well, we didn't have to make huge alterations in terms of hoists and lifts, but what I needed was something that was fairly level and uniformed. From day one, we thought about it and we built in the long-term needs of us as a family into this house. And so we didn't have to make huge adaptations down the line thinking, oh, we need to do this, we need to do that. We've got that wrong. We thought it through very carefully. We planned what we would need, we did it, and we've not had to change the house hugely since then. One of the things that was important to us was with Nicola had her own space, and so she could escape disability. She could escape the family circumstances to some extent as a young carer and as a sibling. And so we were able to build a room upstairs, her bedroom, her own space. She had her own friends round then, and I think that was a real benefit to her. And again, it's part of those considerations of our families. The role of carers, I don't think that as a society we've got close to the impact of that. So let's consider that in accessible housing, accessible environments, and within the services we offer to young carers. I'm pretty happy with my house for the future. I don't know exactly what the future. I have mechanical degenerative conditions, so I don't know. But I think I can be pretty comfortable that this house will meet my housing needs for the short term and more importantly for the long term.